Good morning. I am arriving and landing in my new home for the next 2 months today, and I'm feeling a bit of a what I used to call a cold. I don't really call it that anymore because I believe that any kind of sickness is just our body's purging something, and so I know that I know that I'm purging energy from where I was. I'm feeling that pretty strongly today. I'm feeling, um, uh, I felt pretty ungrounded when I woke up. My body felt pretty heavy. Um, but I did some grounding and I'm definitely feeling better now. I'm feeling very called to um, just use all my resources, all of my tools, to ask for guidance from spirit as I step into this. I'm definitely feeling called to make this space my own today, and do some cleansing and clearing, and just to really allow my energy to land here today. But I'm going to pull some cards, and for this can be a collective reading for all of us who may be stepping into a new beginning, a new chapter, and you're arriving in a new space. So I ask Spirit. First, I have the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck. So I ask, it's also Monday, February 3rd. And I always like to pull one of these on Mondays to ask for what is the energy for the week ahead. But I'm actually going to ask first, Spirit, what is the animal that will guide us for the next 2 months, maybe longer, maybe less, for some of us out there. But what is the animal that's going to guide us in the grounding, in the beginning phases of this transition into this new beginning? What is the spirit animal that can help guide us towards arriving, towards landing our energy, and receiving peace and the life beyond our wildest dreams, our sexy wildest dreams? Feeling you. Dragonfly. I've received this one once before. I almost didn't want to record because I'm not feeling my best. But then I was like, you know what? I asked my heart, do you want to record? And it was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, well, here we go then. It's so interesting how, and I feel we're all affected by this in some way, but I shared about this a little bit on my Instagram recently, but it's we only want to share our highlights. We only want to share when we're feeling our best. And and I'm here doing that by recording this, even when I'm not feeling my best. I want to help change that, to share the highs and the lows and everything in between, because that's real life. What we see, only the highlights on social media, is not real life. All right, Dragonfly is the master of light, illusion, and the mind. Dragonfly is an ancient and ethereal creature that awakens a sense of wonder in all. The dragonfly is a symbol of the mind, as it is always moving, shifting, shimmering, and changing. When the dragonfly card appears, it's worth considering the quality of your mind and perception. Are they restless and still, dreamlike, or crystal clear? The situation at hand may be different than it appears at first glance. The dragonfly reminds us to calm the mind, so the light and wisdom can shine through. When in balance, the dragonfly energy sees clearly, joyful, and magical. When out of balance, you can't concentrate and busy mind. And to bring into balance, focus on the breath. Yeah. Something I've been doing lately that I just am feeling called to share, like, I, over my journey, especially the last few years, you know, have, like, often put this pressure on myself to, like, do, like, a specific form of breath work every day, or, like, sit and meditate for however long a day. And I've really been learning lately to just, like, simplify it and do what feels good for me. So, I mean, first and foremost, that's what I would recommend to anyone out there listening to this. Do what works for you. But what has been working for me lately is like a form of grounding, but I really, you know, and again, like, I used to think that, like, oh, grounding had to be, like, on the earth, but it's like, it can be anywhere. So literally what I just did just now, when I woke up, like, feeling kind of heavy, is I just lie down on the ground, and where I'm living in, like, the city center of Utrecht, a pretty big city in the Netherlands. And I'm learning it's kind of loud. But I'll just lie down on the ground, set like a meditation timer. Sometimes I don't even do that, but most times I do. And sometimes I put on, like, some alpha frequencies. Like, lately I've been listening to the 888 abundance frequency. But, you know, again, none of that really matters. All that really matters is I lay down and I just breathe. I just breathe. So I'm really grateful for this kind of just, like, confirmation of that, because yeah, what I'm hearing, the dragonfly card is sharing with us, is that you know, these changes that we're experiencing right now, this really big shift that just happened, like, it's beautiful and it's powerful, and it I think whenever something like that happens in our life, our mind, you know, is quick to come in and want to try to figure it out. And we are the masters of light. We're, you know, light workers. If you're here watching this and you didn't know that, we're all light workers, in my opinion. And we step more and more into it when we just remember our light, by choosing ourselves. But yeah, so we are the masters of the light, and the mind is gonna, you know, is gonna create a lot of illusions. And really, to simplify it, like, how we can come back into that clarity, seeing clearly, joyful and magical energy, and move out of the lack of concentration in the busy mind, is just focusing on the breath. So whatever that works for you, maybe that is breath work, maybe that is meditation in a certain specific way that you like. Maybe it's like me and just laying on the ground in a big star and just breathing. I'm finding a lot of ease in that, because it kind of just, because again, my mind can just be like, oh, it has to be this way, and it's like, nah, it doesn't. Like, I'll often move, and I'll just follow, like, where I'm being guided, and it's great. All right, now I'm gonna pull some also the Wild Unknown, but the tarot. Ooh, it's so wild. I have not gotten sick in a while. I'll have, like, honestly, because often when I'm lying on the ground or, like, doing breath work, or I'll often cough a lot, like, in experiences like that. Like, experiences where I'm really working with the energy in my body, there will often be these moments where I will cough a lot. And it's like, I'll cough when I'm not feeling any symptoms of being sick. So I often feel, because again, I really am coming to understand that, like, any sickness is just an opportunity. Like, you know, yes, like, physically there's, like, a virus or something happening sometimes, but and, you know, it's your body fighting that off, but it's also, I so believe, energetically, like, there is a purge happening. And so I've as I've like done this kind of deep work more and more, and just had these experiences where I'll just have random bursts of like coughing, and like sometimes like really intense coughing, like getting some like really heavy shit out. I have just noticed that I don't get sick as much anymore. So the fact that I am feeling like the symptoms of being sick right now, and you know, and I'm also understanding that like it's a big purge happening, it's just like, this is one of those moments where it's like you just can't make this shit up, and I have a lot of those moments nowadays. But it's just like the fact that I moved yesterday, and the fact that I'm in a new space today, and yesterday was just I was so high on life yesterday, because I was just so happy to be out on my own and to feel this like complete sense of freedom. And it was just, it had me ecstatic, completely ecstatic. And so I know that the purge I'm feeling right now is letting go of all the energy, however heavy or dense, that I left when I said goodbye to my to the people I was with yesterday, and the space, and yeah. So anyway, just felt like sharing that. All right. Spirit, what do you have to share for us, if anything, through tarot? Any advice for for this process of landing, anything to share for this process of landing, arriving in our new space, in our new chapters, in our new beginnings? This. All right, we got the Daughter of Wands. Interesting, I did the reading the other day, and I had pulled all the cards I wanted to pull, and then I saw this card. I was like, no, I'm not receiving that today. Because sometimes I can feel my brain can only take so much. Sometimes, like, I'll pull a few cards, and then another one is, like, on the bottom, and I'm like, oh, maybe that's for me, too. But then it's like, no, not right now. The ones that I pulled are enough right now. But, clearly, coming back through it. All right. The Daughter of Wands. Visionary and passionate. The Daughter of Wands is a free spirit, a truly visionary creature. She usually waits until later to settle down or start a family, as she's busy with her career. She can be stubborn and much stronger than she looks. As with all the Wands family, the daughter makes a dangerous enemy. This card can also represent a woman going through a transformation or spiritual breakthrough. Yeah. I mean, this is just completely where we're at. If you're here resonating with this, it's this free spirit energy, and yeah, like maybe you've been feeling this really profound, deep connection with yourself, like it in a deeper way than you ever have before, you know. However your self-love journey has been on, or maybe you're just starting it right now, but wherever you're at with it, you're finding this deeper sense of it. And, you know, maybe you're in a relationship, but you're focusing on yourself more now. Maybe you are single and you have been, like, you know, opening yourself up to love from outside of yourself. And you've kind of been, like, waiting for someone to come in, but you keep getting these, like, subtle little messages that, like, because if you didn't know, friends, you're the one you've been looking for. We are the ones that everything we need outside of ourselves is right here. And we, you know, and the deeper and deeper we know that, there's still, you know, parts of ourselves from before we knew that have been seeking and are used to seeking and will continue to seek. But what I'm getting is that you've been getting these subtle messages, maybe not so subtle, and just feelings of like, oh, you know, like I actually just want to be with myself. Like I want to focus on me and choosing me and following my heart and doing what lights me up, and yeah, and just fully like surrender to that and enjoy that, because it's something that you've never experienced before, and it's something that is worth experiencing in its fullness, you know, knowing that because everything we see outside of ourselves is a reflection of ourselves and what's going on in our internal world. So knowing that, like, allowing ourselves the time to really let that seep in, to really envelop ourselves in that self-love, and giving ourselves the time to nurture and nourish ourselves with that self-love, that, again, it's so much more fulfilling than the love we would get from outside of ourselves, because it's from the source. It's us giving ourselves the love. Yeah, I'm just getting this message about, like, allowing ourselves the time to do that, and truly learning to, like, not seek outside of ourselves, to just be completely content with ourselves and this journey. And I'm just getting this sense that it's like, you know, I don't want to say like once we've done enough of that, because it's just like once we're like fully in that, and we're not even thinking about somebody outside of ourselves, I feel like that is when that vibrational match is going to just come to us. And the most beautiful thing about that is it's going to be a person who reflects where we're at. It's going to be a person who also loves themselves deeply. And so just like, what a beautiful relationship is that going to be? And so, you know, if you're relating to this, I know that our mind and parts of us like want this thing outside of ourselves, and like we can be so impatient with it, and we can, you know, feel it coming, and so like there's the anticipation and the excitement and the impatience, and but it's just like, this is the time to create and live our passions and take our visions and like manifest them into reality, starting here. And yeah, and just all the while, like, know that it is coming. I'm hearing this strong message about letting go of seeking anything outside of ourselves, and just allowing ourselves to truly feel the wholeness that we are. Like, you may have felt moments of that recently, like these moments where it's just like, oh yeah, like I'm whole. Like, I don't need anything else. I have everything I need right here. And just allowing more and more moments of that to naturally arise, until that is just your day-to-day, moment-to-moment reality. It's just, I'm whole. Because again, that's who then you're going to be attracting to you, whether that's a partner, whether that's friends, community, like your business partnerships, like you're attracting wholeness, and it's just going to make everything so much easier, like in the sense that it gets to be easy. Like it starts here. It starts with choosing you. And I'm seeing a door. Been connecting with doors over the last few months, and Just received a message the other day about doors, but yeah, I'm seeing like a door, and what I get from that is it's just our heart again is it's just the way through is through ourselves. All right. I'm actually not feeling called to pull another one of those. I feel like that is the one that was meant for us today. I'm just going to end with a affirmation card. I haven't used these in months, and lately I have been feeling really called to them. They're beautiful, beautiful cards, especially this lion. In fact, you know what? That's going to be the one. My mind was like, but what if that's one that we already pulled recently? Well, then we just need it again. It is. But, I mean, I still feel it very strongly. It's reborn. Out of the ashes you will rise, and the tears you once shed will pave the way for all that is light and free. And from this depth you will arrive at your ultimate truth, your ultimate joy. Yeah, we just needed that card again today. Our minds are so funny, friends. They're so funny. Because they just... Yeah, I mean, if you're related to this, you didn't receive this card recently. I did. But here are you receiving this card for the first time. And guess what? Rebirth. Again. Because I know if you're here resonating with this, you've been through a lot of them. But I feel, and I'm sure you feel this way too, like, this is like the biggest one, because it's like, this is like, I don't know, I feel like all the other ones were like, we were like getting our head out, and then like, we got like an elbow out, but then our arm was like stuck behind us, and then like, that arm got free, but then this one was like up, like wrapped around our foot, and like, this Rebirth is like the final, like we have like, we're out, we are free. We are like out of the womb, and we're here, and it's like, whoa, like this is a whole new life, a whole new world, a whole new reality. And it will just continue to get better and better, you know, while we navigate it, while we, you know, we know how to take care of ourselves, and we're, you know, and maybe this is new to you, but you are learning how to take care of yourselves. Like, it's just, when I read this card, I immediately connected with, the tears you once shed will pave the way for all that is light and free. So I received a divine message from Spirit through a friend yesterday. It was very unexpected. I just listened to a voice message from a friend back home in the US, and she was sharing about this journey that she went on with herself. And the last time we had spoken, we had just talked about like crying and tears, and I had shared that like, I had gotten this sense, and this was actually something that another friend of mine reflected to me, that there was like this well of sadness inside of me that like I needed to release through crying. And this message that came through my friend yesterday was basically just like, your mind may think that like you need to cry, but you don't need to force that. Like, you have been doing the work, and maybe you've cried, but maybe some of us, myself included, haven't cried very much as of lately. You know, you maybe get a few tears here and there, but like, you know, and then of course, like, our minds think like, or like, you know, the part of our mind, like, wanting to work through the spiritual journey, which I'm learning, friends, and I'm here to tell you, like, you don't have to work anymore. You just get to be. There's nothing to figure out. There's nothing to fix. And that goes right along with this message that I'm sharing to you now, is you don't need to force yourself to cry, to be healed, to like release, you know, like, you know, and part of me intuitively does know that like there are tears inside of me to be released. This past year, like perhaps you could relate to this, like we've released a lot of anger. Like we've connected deeply with a lot of anger that we didn't know how to connect with before, and we've, you know, released it, and we like know how to connect with anger now, so we, you know, are able to freely express it more when it comes up. That way we're not holding on to it. Like the anger we felt over the last year, maybe 2 years, was anger that we did not express throughout our life. You know, and so this past couple of years have brought us these experiences to bring up those emotions in us again, and we were able to actually express it and release it. And now we know how to express anger. So, you know, to the best of our ability moving forward, we're going to be able to just express it. So we'll just feel it when it comes up, and then it'll go, and then it'll leave, and then we'll move forward. Like, that's just how emotions work. Like, and so that's why, like, at the beginning of your spiritual journey, like, there's so much of it because we've held on to it and we're letting it go. The point I'm getting at is that I know that beneath anger is sadness. But the point I'm getting at most of all is that we don't have to force it. We don't have to force it. Just like the universe brought us all of those experiences, the things that triggered us and, just led us to express all the anger, the same thing is naturally going to happen for the sadness in divine timing. And we don't have to force ourselves. Like, the main thing I want to say is that we do not have to in any way limit ourselves into thinking that like we can't live our life, our full life beyond our sexy wildest dreams, before releasing this sadness. Because again, that's just limiting ourselves, and we are fucking limitless. And so I was so grateful to receive this message through my friend, because it was just like, wow, thank you, Spirit. Like, because especially as I was moving yesterday when I received this message, and it's like, I didn't even necessarily know I was thinking this, but like, as soon as I received it, I immediately recognized like, oh yeah, like part of me is thinking that like, I'm not done, I'm not complete, because I haven't cried these like tears that I feel I need to cry. But that's just not true. Not true. Like I am whole, we are whole, you are whole all the time. All the time. Every moment of this reality, you are whole. And in knowing that, you can choose yourself, you can follow your heart, and that's just where we continue on the journey. But it doesn't have to be so hard. It doesn't have to be you trying so hard and trying to figure everything out and fix and figure out. And I know I've said that multiple times, but it's like, that's what I've spent, my life has continually gotten better since I woke up in 2020. However, it is like significant jump in what I'm learning right now, which is letting go of fixing and figuring out, because I don't have to force anything. I can just allow. So, when whatever experiences, and I can't know, come to me that allow me to release these tears, and and it's gonna be a process. Like one time I was connecting with my sadness, and I literally, because like, again, I am learning. I've always said that it's hard for me to cry, and I actually am feeling right now that that's not true, but I make it true by trying to force it. Because yeah, forcing yourself to cry is hard, but just allowing yourself to cry is not hard. But there are certain things that allow me to cry, like music, a good sad movie. Like, I watch a Disney Pixar movie that I know is gonna make me, like, if I want a good cry, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna go watch Coco. Like, that'll make me cry. The point I'm getting at, what was it? Oh, there was a moment recently where I cried. I actually think these tears just came up naturally on their own. yeah, I just started crying, and it was just like a couple tears. And then I immediately was like, oh, like, I need to cry more. Like, I need to get more of this out. Um, and I think I just asked, like, why can I not cry to the fullness that I feel like is inside of me? And I literally heard Spirit say, like, we are we are giving you these emotions in the capacity that you can handle, and we are doing that for a reason. Because if you were to cry all your tears that you have right now, you would drown. And, you know, that's obviously a heavy message, but it's also so beautiful and so loving. Like, wow, thank you for just giving me this as it comes, and all the while, like, because that's the other thing, is that this weight of this sadness before the message I received yesterday about, like, not needing to force it, it's like, we don't need to wait to live. We don't need to wait to love. We don't need to wait to experience joy. We don't need to force ourselves to be sad when there is beautiful life in front of us. It's like I'm hearing, like, ride the waves and allow them to come and go. Allow yourself to experience the joy when the joy is innately present and in front of you. Allow yourself to experience the sadness when it is innate and in front of you, like, and the anger and everything, and the love. Yep. All right. That is where I'm feeling called to end this. Much love to you all, friends.